So we're up here at the farm. I had just cut some berms last night, and I was out here in a gentle rain working it, seeing if my berms and swells were going to work before we coated them with topsoil, kind of getting my drainage canals worked out. I ditched what was going to be the pond so we could pull the water, a little bit of water that was in it, out. Then we got a good storm come in, so now we really get a good look at the berms and swells. So before we came out here and put these berms and swells in, we had tilled this up and then let the water run straight across it. Letting the water run across it, while not necessarily deliberate, did show us exactly where the low spots were in this field. And what we did to create the berm, look at this here. This is interesting. I've got a little water coming in subsurface, which is good. Eventually this is all going to be topsoiled and this water will soak into the topsoil. But over here you can see what happened before. We had these really big ruts all the way down through here. It washed a huge amount of topsoil down the valley in just 2 weeks. What we're trying to do now is we came in with a laser at night, because it wasn't a very bright laser, one I bought on the cheap, and came down here to the lowest point and laid contour lines with marking tape in the soil. And then because I'm in a hurry and don't feel like doing it the right way with the shovel, I came through and took a small piece of excavating equipment and dug my berms on contour, and then came in during this rain and started smoothing out the ditches. Got a little bit of a bonus because I found a ditch that drains from the top of the hill there, where that's going to be the eventual home site and pavilion down below it, and it's draining that top real nicely into my fourth berm. This has definitely got to be fixed down here. I've got too much overflow on this end and not enough on the other end. I'll adjust that so that we don't get this kind of problem in the future. Also, these overflows will eventually have rock in them, so the nice thing is they're mostly overflowing on the grass, so they're not going to cut out a lot of soil on the way through. But we'll make sure that doesn't happen by putting some rock in them and some sod on the uphill side of the rock. Eventually what will happen is we'll take some of this topsoil that we removed from the top of the hill. It's going to get piled down in here and create essentially terraces down this hill, but these berms will catch the water and then overflow and fill each other up. It both stops the erosion of water from the top of the hill. We'll have a spillway on that pond when we finish the dam, and I'll also have a pipe coming out of the bottom of the pond that I can use for watering if it gets dry. At least that's the plan. When we're done with that pond and water comes through and starts coming over the spillway in a storm like what just happened, this will of course be covered with crops. The sides will be nice and grassed. We won't have as much mud in this as what we see right now. And well, you can see this last one is just filling up still. So each one successfully filled up with the water, both from the pond, from the storm that came. Each one is filling up on contour. This one again is flowing over a little more on this end and not on the other end yet. But we'll come down here. Oh good, it's just starting to overflow here too. We'll give this one a little help right now. I'm gonna have to come in here and do a rock there. There we go. Now it's overflowing on both ends, and it'll fill this bottom swell, or bottom berm, and eventually these will water subsurface, will water my beds. That is the long-term plan. So every time we get a good storm, instead of running across it and draining away, instead we'll get a nice series of little waterfalls around the edge of the field. The beds will get watered, and this valley that used to have a ton of water stored at the top of it, and then I'll run off to the creek down here. Will now hold water in the pond, which will soak into the soil, and then it'll run down through these berms and soak into the soil as well. So I'm really happy with the result right now. I think this is going to make a spectacular garden. So that's that.